More than money, more than any material possession, our time is the most valuable thing that any of us really have. And so anything that we can do in life to enable ourselves to claim back more of our time is a win. And here we're about to visit an incredible couple who have built a beautiful tiny house and an impressive off-grid system that's enabled them to retire early. Hi Jen, how are you?
Hi, good. So happy to have you here.
It is lovely to be here. Hey Steve, how you doing?
Here, Bryce, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. It is just so nice to be here, and wow, what an amazing spot you have here.
Yeah, thanks. We love it. We've only been here about a month, but it's been great so far.
Driving in, this is about as idyllic as it gets. It felt like coming into the Shire or something. All the beautiful fields and the streams. This is really a gorgeous place.
It's amazing. It's like we wake up in the morning and look out and we can't believe it.
Yeah, we were very lucky to find it.
Yeah, and you own the land here, don't you?
We do. And when we moved from our last tiny house in West Auckland, we were looking for land out in West Auckland, and it was, we were looking at 600-meter sections on the side of a mountain, and it was terrible. And for the same money, an hour out here, we were able to get 3.5 acres.
Yeah, beautiful. And so you say your last tiny house, this is tiny house 2.0 for you both, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We were in another house for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and we wanted our own land, and we wanted one level, which this is.
And tell me about your journey into tiny house living. Why go tiny?
Boy, Jennifer's been into tiny houses since we were in America. We've been in New Zealand about 6 years.
Right.
And I always thought of it as a caravan, living in an RV. And we started watching your videos and other tiny house shows. And I started thinking, oh, you know what? Actually, this doesn't seem so bad.
And it was actually worked out well because when we moved here 6 or 7 years ago, we basically got rid of all of our possessions. And so it was an easy time. It was an easy way to like downsize and all that kind of stuff.
So you're both from America originally.
Right.
Talk to me about your journey to New Zealand.
Well, our original plan was to move to Edinburgh in Scotland. We visited there and fell in love with it. And we said, our kids were grown. And so we made all the plans. And then because of Brexit, we couldn't get a visa. And we kind of had it in our minds that we wanted to move to a different country. And we picked, sight unseen, we picked New Zealand.
So we're just your backup plan then?
It turned out to be the better option.
Yeah.
Not even a backup plan, we're just where you ended up.
It's kind of where we ended up, but, it turned out to be way better.
Yeah.
Way, way better. So, yeah, it worked out
Scotland's
great.
beautiful too.
Scotland's beautiful
I don't
too.
think you could lose with either.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just going back to this land here for a moment, it's quite a special community that you've formed here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very unique. And, once again, that's part of the reason that this was affordable, because it's an off-grid community. It has to be that way. A lot of people are interested in that, and that's exactly what we wanted. So It worked out great, yeah.
Absolutely. And you have got a huge solar system here.
Yeah, we're not messing around with the solar.
You are not.
Mostly because of the cars. So we have 2 electric cars that we're charging. One's charging right now, as a matter of fact. As our solar guy said, you can power whatever you want as long as you get enough panels and enough batteries.
Yeah, very true. And having 2 electric cars and living quite remote, the charging really is important here, isn't it?
It was a deal breaker for us. Solar has come down in price a lot. It's a lot more reasonable, and it's been great.
In our last house, we would have had to put it on the roof, but then we couldn't do that for collecting rainwater.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the panels are the same size as the roof here, so the water would have just run off into the ground.
Right, fair enough too. It is actually quite nice having the panels separate from the house as well, because it means you can orient the house which way you want, and you don't have to worry about solar orientation for that. Yes. And then as well, it makes it so much easier to maintain and clean the panels when they're on the ground on their own rig like this.
Yes, I'm assuming so. It's only been a month, so we haven't cleaned them yet, but yeah, that is totally true.
Yeah, well, when you do clean them, you'll be thankful you did it.
Yes, I am thankful already.
And it looks like you've got another little pod or something up the hill. What's going on there?
Yeah, so that was a cabin that was here, but it was unfinished. It was just studs and plywood. And I put up some insulation and some jib and carpet. And that's where I play my guitars. I play punk rock guitar, and it's loud, so I go up there.
Nice. So Jen's happy to have you up there making all the noise.
I could still hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, play it loud, right?
Hell yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And the house. This is just such a great design. I love these single level designs. And coming into the home, it's lovely having this beautiful undercover area and sort of an outdoor area that also functions like another lounge for you, doesn't it?
It does. We have those plastic doors that roll down.
Yeah.
Like last night, we put the doors down and lit a fire and just hung out here and relaxed.
Brilliant. And what a place to be outside with that lovely fire as well.
Yeah.
Very relaxing.
And it throws off a lot of heat. And actually what we do, we have that fan on the fire and we leave this door open and it'll heat this whole half of the house.
Yeah. This is bigger than the Roaring Meg though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Mighty Meg and it throws off some heat.
Yeah.
It really does.
And then you've got the grill here. That looks like a pretty serious grill.
Yeah, I'm not messing around with that grill. It's
No.
ceramic egg designs. And the other day I smoked my first pork shoulder on it. And I mean, my first pork shoulder here. I used to run a barbecue restaurant in America.
Right.
but yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah,
Really
fantastic.
nice, yeah.
You've got a nice outdoor dining space here as well?
Yeah, that was actually the table that was on our deck in the old house. We found it at the food show in Auckland a few years ago, or several years ago. And it's just, we love that table. It just, still love it, yeah.
Yeah. And so the tiny house, what size is this?
Well, if you include the porch, it's about 750 square feet, which is an
Like an apartment.
apartment, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great size.
Yeah.
But it feels
Yeah.
huge to us.
Yeah. And owning the land here, is this still on a trailer or have you put it on foundations?
The main pod is on a trailer, but we just put the trailer onto the screw piles. And then the porch and the bedroom pod are basically sleep outs.
Great way to do it. And tell me about the design of your home.
So we saw this house at the Auckland Tiny House Expo. Jennifer wasn't with me, and she'd been wanting a one-level house. And so I said, hey, this is what we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really, it looks great and it flows so well. It's, ingenious the way it's designed.
Yeah, and as far as the outside, we just wanted something that kind of fit in with this landscape and kind of looks a little more natural. And
Yeah, lots of timber, and the steel is, it's iron sand, so it's dark and it kind of fits in with everything. It looks really great, I think.
Yeah. So coming from the last tiny house design, which was the Hazel model, what was it that had to change in your new home? What was it that you wanted to swap out?
well, I didn't want to have stairs anymore. I didn't want a second level.
That was it. I mean, we could have moved the Hazel. It's very happy where it is, though, and it was easier and better for us just to get exactly what we wanted.
But it was a great house.
Yeah, it was a really fantastic house. But then we also, had 4 years of living in a tiny house to say, okay, this is great. But I mean, when we get into the kitchen, there's some things that we wanted to change in terms of, functionality. So those were all things that kind of factored into our decision.
Yeah, fair enough too. And talking about the kitchen, can we pop inside and have a look?
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course.
Thank you very much. This is absolutely stunning. So in this first pod, you've got the kitchen, the lounge, bathroom, and laundry, right?
Correct. This is where all the utilities come in, and this is kind of the main living pod.
Great. And it is just so nice how connected it is to the outdoor area as well. Really makes that such an extension of your living space.
Yeah, it does. You open that door and you're looking out and you can see everything and you can walk in and out and the dog can walk in and out and it's really
And
nice.
we have the large window over there. So it does make you feel like you're outside more.
Yeah, it really lets you soak in all of those views, doesn't it?
Well, and the skylights also. Jennifer's always wanted skylights, so she's got her skylights. And the high ceiling just makes everything feel so much bigger.
It really does. Lovely big wraparound couch that you've got there.
Yeah, it's custom for the space. And the two drawers on this side pull out, and that's an extension of the kitchen storage, which is huge. And then there's storage underneath that side as well, where we keep blankets and all of Jennifer's mom's quilts, which we have lots of, and we show some of those off here. But put jackets there and just extra storage.
Beautiful. Your mum's a quilter.
She is. She spends a lot of time quilting. She's very creative.
Amazing. And is that a hobby that's rubbed off on you?
No, I didn't get that creativity gene. My sister, she does stuff like that too.
Yeah, so we just get the quilts and use them.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's lovely though. And they do look great in the house. And you've got the dog bed here as well. You share the space with quite a large dog, don't you?
Yeah, our world revolves around Iggy right now. So, so what Iggy wants, Iggy gets. He's deaf, which was we were a little apprehensive when we got him, but it's been great, and he has a really nice life.
Yeah. Was he born deaf or was it an accident?
He was born deaf. He came from the Northland Humane Society, and there was a couple that had adopted him, and then they suddenly had to move to the UK, and he wound up with us, and it's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, good. And the kitchen. This is palatial, and this was a very important space for you both because you used to be chefs.
Yeah, that's right. We retired about 1.5 years ago.
In the United States, we had a food truck, and then we opened a restaurant.
Cool.
So it was, yeah.
What kind of food truck did you have?
It was soup.
Soup and paninis.
Soup and paninis.
Nice.
So it was very fun. A lot of work, but...
Yeah, another small space kitchen.
Yeah. And does that come with a love of cooking, or is cooking now work for you?
It's a love of cooking. And, you know, interestingly, everyone always says, oh, well, I could be a chef because I love to cook. And when I was a chef, cooking was probably 25% of what I did.
Yeah.
You know, and now if I just want to make something, I cook it. And,
Great.
And I can just enjoy the cooking. And in this kitchen, I can really enjoy the cooking.
Yeah. So as chefs, what were the elements in this kitchen that were really important for you to get right?
Well, definitely had a lot of bench space. I found a perfect chopping board for that space. A lot of spaces to work, really good oven and really good hob. We kind of splashed out on that. Just a lot of creative use of space. You can see how we have the spices stored underneath the cabinet there.
Yeah, and there really does look like a phenomenal amount of prep space here as well. And it's very clever what you've done with this pull-out table as well.
Yeah, so we can push it all the way in or pull it all the way out. And so it's an eating area, it's a prep area, it's an area to
put papers on.
Put papers on. Yeah.
And this counter, this is all on wheels, so we can always turn it around however we
Great.
want.
Very good design. And no shortage of storage here as well.
No.
Yeah, heaps of storage underneath the island. You know, these cabinets here are great, and of course everything under the couch.
And you've got a great sized fridge, dishwasher, huge, nice big butler sink too. Look at that.
Yeah, you know, the big fridge was definitely something that I wanted, and you know,
The sink is what I wanted.
yeah, we've been together about 36 years, and Jennifer's always wanted a sink like this, and we had to move to a tiny house to get it. So
Wow. There
Yeah.
you go. Worth it just for that.
It is.
And in this kitchen as well, you've done something really cool for your fizzy water, haven't you?
yeah, I live for fizzy water. I need to stay hydrated, and I hate regular water. So we had a hole drilled in the bench, and I have an adapter, so the soda stream goes into a restaurant-sized CO2 tank, which will last us about 1.5 years on a fill, or 2
That's
years.
such a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you, I'm also such a fan of fizzy water, and you end up with all of those canisters. They last 5 minutes, those little tiny soda stream ones.
Once every 1.5 years or 2 years, I go to a fire safety store and they refill the tank for $140, and I'm good for another couple of years.
Brilliant. Great idea. Anyone out there that loves fizzy water, that's what you've got to do now.
Yeah, we're the worst SodaStream customers ever because we don't use the flavor and we don't use the canisters. And sorry, SodaStream, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love that idea. And next up here, we've got your bathroom. Can we have a look at that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Again, this is a very spacious bathroom, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. We really like it. I love having the full-size shower with the rainwater, and that's really nice.
I think one of the things that I really appreciate just about single level tiny house design in general is having the elevated ceiling height, not needing the loft space. It really enables every part of the house to feel just so much more spacious. Just having that height makes such a difference.
Yeah, and it also keeps things from getting too foggy.
Right, yeah. Beautiful tile work in here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's Jennifer, working with the builder. Jennifer picked out everything that has to do with color and design and things looking good. I'm colorblind, and I just say, yeah, okay, and that's her department.
Nice. Well, you can certainly trust Jennifer there because she's done a great job picking these out. They look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you've got the composting toilet there as well.
Yeah, it's a nature loo, which we had in the old house. In the old house, we upgraded from a bamboo loo to a nature loo.
Yeah.
Which was the best decision we ever made. Changing the toilet every 3 months instead of twice a week.
Big difference. Big difference.
Because Jennifer chooses the tiles, I empty the toilet. So it's been great.
Definitely you get the rough end of that deal.
I'm happy for it to work out that way.
And beautiful styling of that vanity too, especially with that feature mirror. That just looks so good.
Yeah, Jennifer really wanted something like that with the lighted mirror and everything. And one thing that we really like is that there's a sensor up above your head, and underneath the sink is a nightlight that pops on when you walk in the room.
Great. It's little touches like that that really make a space joyful to live in, eh? When you can just build in something so simple that actually really just makes living in the house that little bit easier.
Well, and especially out here where it's just, at night it's dark.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no street lights, no anything. So, getting up in the middle of the night, it's nice to be able to see where you're going a little bit.
Absolutely. You've got the vertical towel rails in here as well.
Yeah.
Aren't they good?
Yes.
They're really good. They're cool looking, and they really work well.
They work so much better than the conventional rails, I think.
Yeah.
And next to me right here, we've got your laundry.
Yeah, we're old set in our ways people, and we like having a washer and a dryer, so that was important for us. We had a combination washer dryer in the old house, which worked great, but it took 6.5 hours.
And we still have a clothesline outside, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite a nice space for it as well. I like the way that it's just tucked around the corner there. It's not very invasive in the space, but it's still there when you need it.
Yeah, it works out really well. It's been very convenient and really nice to have.
Great. And so this tiny house is also connected to the bedroom pod via a little walkway.
Yeah, that's one of those just ingenious things that we really love about the design of this house.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the way that that's been done. And so in the other pod, we've got your bedroom and office. Can we have a look at that side?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. Again, this is just so nice. This is such a light room as well. It's one of those spaces that walks in and everything sort of feels illuminated and really just a nice space to be in.
Yeah, it's such a nice space. The view, I'd say you can't buy it, but we did. We have the sliding door there. It goes right out on the deck. We have a mate who's a builder who built that deck for us, and it just really makes the house just much more useful and functional. And it's really a nice room. We can just sit here and watch TV and just relax here. It's interesting because of the way the house is laid out. I can be watching my baseball game in the lounge, and Jennifer can be watching her whatever she's watching in here, and we can't hear each other.
Yeah, having that little bit of separation, it is quite nice, isn't it? It does allow you to have more private spaces throughout the home.
Yeah, the only person who doesn't like it is the dog because he can't figure out where we are.
Right. And in this pod, you've also got the office next door, and I really like the way that that's done. It's nice to have a dedicated working space, isn't it?
Yeah, Jennifer wanted a space where she could have her desk and she can, have her papers there, and it's got a little couch in there, and you can just sit and relax and read in there, and that's where my dresser is, so I can kind of pop in there and get dressed in the morning and not disturb Jennifer. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And then you've got the wardrobe here as well.
Yeah, huge wardrobe.
It looks like a huge wardrobe.
Yeah, that was something that was important, and it's working well, yeah.
Yeah. Around the corner here, there's the little book nook, which I really like. And you're actually an author, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but I wrote a couple of books back in my writing days. I wrote a baseball book and a book about college basketball. We have my books. We also have my brother's books and my sister's books.
What are their books?
So my brother, he writes about conservatives from a liberal perspective, from Lyndon Johnson to today. So his books you can use as a weapon if you want to throw them at somebody. They'll do some damage. My sister was an education writer back in the day, and so she wrote a couple of books about that.
Fantastic. You've definitely got an interesting collection out there as well. I really like seeing some of the wild edible food books and the fungi books and all of that sort of thing. You've definitely got a keen interest in that.
Yeah.
That's Jennifer. She's the gardener. Once again, I'm the muscle. She tells me what she wants, and I dig it.
Very nice. Good way of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been in this tiny house now for just over a month, but you are obviously no stranger to tiny home living. You had the previous tiny house as well. How is this way of life working out for you both?
It's not an exaggeration to say that this is the reason we were able to retire. For the cost of a down payment on a regular house, we own the house free and clear. Our living expenses went from $50,000 a year to $3,000 a year. So that's just completely changed our lives.
Yeah, and then as far as the space itself, it's just so freeing not to have so much stuff. I mean, I could even walk around and get rid of more stuff. It's nice not to have just so many possessions.
Absolutely. So you touched on the cost. What did this actually cost to build?
This house was about $450,000 all in for the house. Prices to build in this country have obviously gone way up.
They really have.
It's, about twice what we spent on the last house, but we were able to sell the last house and fund this house.
Yeah.
And so, it's still way less than a million two or whatever we'd spend on a house in Auckland.
Yeah, and you really have very high-end features in this house as well. You can see throughout the home that you really have not skimped on anything.
We've not. We definitely went for the upgraded everything.
Yeah. So you've both recently retired. What does the future hold for you both now? What are your plans going forward?
Traveling.
Yeah, we're traveling a lot.
We like to travel, and
I play my guitar and I umpire, and I'm in the Big Buddy program, so I have my buddy that I spend time with. Make sure the dog is happy. That's what we do.
yeah, and gardening, and just
Yeah.
it's amazing how much you can find to do when you're not working.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're never bored.
Yeah, when Jennifer suggested that we retire, because we were going to open up a restaurant, we had money saved for a restaurant, and we decided not to do that, and
We got this instead.
Yeah, we did this instead.
Yeah.
But I was really nervous about being bored, and I'm actually busier now than I was before.
I mean, we both had so many years when, working so hard at jobs that either we liked or didn't like, or just took up so much of our time and energy. And it just gets to a point where, we just want to relax and enjoy life.
I think about this all the time now when I hear people talk about their mortgages, and just the idea of not having that just makes me feel so good. It's really nice.
What do your kids think of what you've done with this? Are you the crazy mom and dad that moved to New Zealand and built a tiny house?
They've been really supportive. We thought that they were going to be a little weirded out by us moving to New Zealand, but they're fine. We visit them every year or two, and it's been fine.
And when we left, we had a different dog, and 3 cats. And our daughter took the 3 cats.
And my brother took the dog.
Great.
Yeah, so it all worked out.
It certainly did. Well, this is just such a dream home that you've built here. I love the way that these multiple tiny homes put together have just created such a beautiful and coherent home. The land that you've purchased here is an absolute dream. Just looking out on that view right now, I can really see exactly why you wanted to be here. This really is such a beautiful spot. Thank you both so much for sharing your wonderful home with me.
Yes.
Our pleasure.
What an incredible home that Jen and Steve have created for themselves here. The home itself is amazing, and this property, just being able to look out onto those stunning views each and every day must be absolutely magical. But what I love most about this home is that it has enabled them to retire early. I feel like in today's society, retirement is this goalpost that so many people aim towards, but this home has enabled Jen and Steve to reach that position early, to be financially liberated enough to claim more years back for yourself. I just think that is so incredibly special, and I love that building this home has done that for them.